Stop imagining space as an empty void because it is actually a chaotic factory, building the most terrifying materials in existence. We are talking about planets made of diamonds and rain that slices you open. Let's start with the strongest substance in the universe, nuclear pasta. This isn't food, it is the crushed corpse of a dead star. When a massive star explodes in a supernova, its core collapses into a neutron star, packing the mass of our sun into a city the size of Manhattan. The gravity here is so intense that it crushes atomic nuclei together. As you descend below the crust, the pressure forces matter into strange shapes. First, you hit the gnocchi phase, where protons and neutrons clump into round blobs. Go deeper, and they stretch into long strands called spaghetti. Finally, at the absolute core, they flatten into sheets known as lasagna. Breaking a piece of this pasta would be 10 billion times harder than shattering steel. But if that is too heavy for you, let's travel 40 light years away to 55 Cancri, the super Earth that is effectively a solid diamond. This planet orbits so close to its star that its surface burns at 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit, but the internal pressure is the real story. This planet is carbon-rich, and that intense heat and crushing gravity have crystallized the entire mantle into pure diamond. We estimate the value of this planet to be $26.9 nonillion. That is a number with 30 zeros. If you could mine just a shovel full of this surface, you would crash the economy of Earth instantly. However, you cannot spend that money if you are dead, so you might want a stiff drink. And space has you covered with Sagittarius B2. This is a giant molecular cloud located near the center of our Milky Way, and it is essentially a floating distillery. This nebula spans 150 light years and contains billions of liters of alcohol molecules. Specifically, it is full of ethyl formate. Here is the weird part. Ethyl formate is the chemical responsible for the flavor of raspberries and the smell of rum. So if you could take a helmet-free breath in this violet mist without freezing, the center of the galaxy would taste like berries and smell like a pirate ship. But do not get too comfortable, because the weather in space is actively trying to kill you. Look at HD 189733. From a distance, it looks like a calm, deep blue marble, similar to Earth. That is a lie. That blue color comes from silicate particles in the atmosphere scattering light. Silicate is basically glass. The winds on this planet howl at 5,400 miles per hour, which is 7 times the speed of sound. At those speeds, the rain does not fall down. It flies sideways. You are looking at a storm of molten glass shards slashing through the air horizontally at supersonic speeds. If you stood on the surface, you would be shredded into confetti before you even realized it was raining. Finally, we have to talk about the ghost in the machine, dark matter. This is the most abundant yet mysterious material in the cosmos. Everything you can see, stars, planets, gas, you, only makes up about 5% of the universe. The rest is this invisible scaffolding. We know it exists because of gravity. When we look at spinning galaxies, they are moving so fast that they should fly apart. The only reason they stay together is that they are anchored by a massive web of dark matter. It does not reflect light, it does not emit radiation, and it passes right through your body every single second. It is the invisible skeleton holding reality together. We are only scratching the surface of these cosmic horrors because the universe gets even stranger when you look at what fuels it. Which brings us right back to why you need to stop imagining space as an empty void. You are about to witness the most volatile, destructive, and impossible materials in the known universe. We are leaving the safety of Earth far behind to touch the stuff of nightmares. If you thought diamond rain was extreme, you haven't seen anything yet. Let's dive into the hearts of monsters. Our first stop takes us deep inside the crushing gravity of Jupiter. We all know gas giants are made of hydrogen, the lightest element, but down here, physics starts to break. As we descend past the swirling storms and choking clouds, the pressure mounts to levels that would flatten a tank into a sheet of foil. Suddenly, the gas stops behaving like a gas. It doesn't even behave like a liquid we understand. Welcome to the realm of liquid metallic hydrogen. Under millions of atmospheres of pressure, hydrogen atoms are squeezed so tightly that their electrons are stripped loose, creating a sea of free-flowing charge. Look at it. It looks like mercury, a swirling silver ocean of electrified fluid. This isn't just a strange state of matter. It is the generator of the solar system's most powerful magnetic field. Those white arcs of lightning you see aren't just electricity. They are the visual scream of a planet turning gas into metal. This swirling dynamo conducts electricity better than copper wire, and it is churning endlessly in the dark, heated by the crushing weight of the world above it. But let's trade extreme pressure for extreme violence. We are moving from the core of a planet to the aftermath of a cosmic collision. Diamonds are famous for being the hardest material on Earth, but out here, they are practically fragile compared to Lonsdale. This is hyperdiamond. While terrestrial diamonds are forged in the slow cooker of Earth's mantle, Lonsdale is born in the instant shock of a meteorite impact. When a graphite-rich meteorite slams into a planet, the heat and force rearrange the carbon atoms instantly. But instead of the cubic crystal lattice of a normal diamond, these atoms lock into a hexagonal pattern. This structure is theoretically 58% harder than pure diamond. Imagine a material so rigid that it doesn't just scratch glass. It shatters the concept of hardness itself. In the macro shot of this impact crater, you can see the stone shattering to reveal these microscopic hexagonal fortresses. It is a gemstone forged in catastrophe, a permanent scar of kinetic energy frozen in time. Now, take a deep breath. Oxygen, it's the invisible gas that keeps us alive. But if we take that life-giving gas and subject it to 96 gigapascals of pressure, it undergoes a terrified transformation. It becomes solid oxygen, but it doesn't just freeze into white ice. It turns into a glowing metallic blue crystal. At this state, oxygen becomes an electrical conductor. It becomes a superconductor at extremely low temperatures. Watch as the gas compresses in the simulation. The invisible molecules are forced into a rigid, crystalline lattice, reflecting light in the blue spectrum. It's beautiful, but it's deadly. This forms the potential cores of gas giants and icy planets, layers of metallic blue oxygen hidden beneath the surface. It is a reminder that under the right conditions, the air you breathe can become a metal harder than stone. We are moving further out now, to a place where light goes to die. We are approaching the exoplanet Tres-2b, the darkest world ever discovered. This is a hot Jupiter that defies logic. It reflects less than 1% of the light that hits it. It is darker than coal, darker than black acrylic paint. It is a vantablack world. As we approach, you don't see a planet. You see a void, a hole in the star field. The atmosphere contains light-absorbing chemicals like vaporized sodium and potassium, or perhaps titanium oxide gas. But it's not just dark, it's burning. The faint red glow you see isn't reflected starlight. It is the thermal radiation of the planet itself, roasting at 1,000 degrees Celsius. It is a demon world, a pitch-black sphere radiating an ominous heat haze, silently orbiting its star, consuming every photon that dares to touch its atmosphere. It is the ultimate stealth bomber of the cosmos. And finally, we arrive at the edge of physics itself, the most volatile, expensive, and dangerous substance in existence. Antimatter. This isn't science fiction. This is real. For every particle of matter, protons, electrons, there is an antiparticle with the opposite charge. Positrons, antiprotons. In this magnetic containment field, we are holding a cluster of antihydrogen. It glows, suspended in a vacuum, because it can never touch the walls. If it touches normal matter, the air, the glass, your hand, it triggers immediate annihilation. This isn't a chemical explosion. It is the total conversion of mass into energy. Einstein's E equals mc squared in its most terrifying form. Watch closely as a single particle escapes the field. That blinding white flash, that is pure gamma radiation. 1 gram of this substance contains the explosive yield of a nuclear bomb. It is the ultimate fuel and the ultimate weapon, balanced on a knife edge of magnetic fields. From metallic oceans to invisible worlds, the universe operates on rules that defy our imagination. We are just tourists in a galaxy of violent wonders. The deeper we look, the stranger it gets. You are about to witness the 5 most volatile, destructive, and impossible materials in the known universe.